Hey, welcome back to the United Kingdom, where I make things for Ken and for fun. My name's Ferrell and welcome back. So we're finishing up the kitchen. This is a sneak preview of the whole thing. I think you'll agree it's come out pretty well. I love the retro vibe, and Alan did actually decide to make this his home before it was even finished. So looking back at the LOL OMG house, you can see the influences that we're taking with the plastered wall, and we did find a mouse that I created, and the tiled walls, and also the pattern on the ceiling. So I've taken a few of those elements and put them into the Kidcraft house so that we can make Ken's Mojo Dojo Casa House, or my interpretation of it at least. We don't have any marbled flooring, but as you would have seen in the previous episode, we've got resin flooring that's kind of got a marbly effect. So this is actually the ceiling of that room. Obviously you can see it's a bit damaged, and I wanted to find a way to be able to decorate the ceiling. So I made these stencil template type things out of card and sprayed the whole thing in a dusting of pink, like a pale pink. And I created this rim around the edge by putting pieces of just scrap wood underneath, and then placing another piece of this kind of chipboard, I don't really know what it's called, on top of that, so that I can then run the lights around the edge. This way I don't have to drill any holes, and it just it makes for quite a nice effect, I think you'll see. So I've got the lights stuck to the back of the box, ready to install a bit later. But first and foremost, we need to create this mouse. Now, if you're playing with magnets, please be very careful, because I had two of these magnets that were attracted to one another, and I decided to try and break it free from its plastic using a pair of pliers, which did actually cause sparks. I didn't get it on camera, so please, for your own sakes, go careful. So I decided to use some polymer clay. I was told that if you use wet wipes, you can get the fingerprints off. This is kind of the first time in years that I've used polymer clay. I think I needed alcohol wipes. But once I'd created my tiny mouse, I rolled him in some nail flocking. Now, it doesn't have the same furrier texture that actual flocking has, but it does look kind of cool. So this is just showing you the one that I got. I think it was off of Temu or something, and this is the first attempt, the first of three. I dubbed him Squiffy because it does look like he's been on the old Pinot Grigio, and I mean, look, he looked really great, but unfortunately it just didn't work out with that one. I had to do a couple more attempts. So you'll have seen earlier I was attempting to make a telephone to go on the wall, and I'm just measuring it up to Alan's hand, so that I can try and make it to the right size. The first attempt at that didn't work either, but like I said before, crafting is about experimenting, trying new things, figuring out what does and what doesn't work. I figured out that I can actually bake in my air fryer, so that's cool, and it's only me that's eating from it. And as I mentioned earlier, Alan did make this his home whilst we were ironing out some of the kinks. But it is time to start dressing the room. I wanted to create a backsplash. I used some of the packaging from the Teeny Tiny's barbecue as a backsplash, and some of these random Barbie kitchen pieces, and created a rail for those things to hang at the back of the kitchen there. And yeah, and I also made some steps out of card that fit the same thing as the plaster. But here you can see the lights, you can see Alan loving his new home. I don't know if he's permanently going to live there. And I think there will probably be a couple of touch-ups and things that I do a bit later on in the final touches of this whole project. And as you can see, here is the mouse with the magnet underneath, getting him to move across the floor. I'm pretty proud, you know, considering that that's my first attempt. I could make it a lot cleaner, maybe if I bought a mould for mice. And here is actually the second attempt at the telephone. It does come away from the wall. I did include the wire, and here is the grand finale. Here's the whole thing put together. Next up, we have the roof garden that will be going above here. I do hope that you like this project. If you do, leave a comment down below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Be sure to like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya!